welcome back to Drinking by My Family!
Yay!
Yeah. We've got the whole gang here and we're all going to talk about some of the books we've been reading on lockdown. But first, this video is sponsored by Two Brooks. I'm wrapping all of their merch. So cheers, that's what we're all drinking.
Cheers, huh?
So these are a brand new, just launched range of alcohol sparkling water. So they're really, really different to anything else that I've tried before.
It's amazing.
We've got 3 flavours here. We've got lime, mango and passion fruit. They're all made of just 3 ingredients. It's just sparkling water, alcohol and the various natural fruit flavourings. They're all vegan and gluten free, and I think they're way more light and refreshing than having like a wine or a beer. So kind of perfect for a summery picnic.
Perfect.
Really cool for festivals. And show off your cans. They've got really they've got really nice branding. I think they're just really pretty.
Cool. They're dangerous because you don't know they're alcoholic.
You don't know they're alcoholic, yeah. But they are.
Mine's a little. It's a sea otter, like Tarka the otter.
Okay.
Do you think yours was a monkey?
Well, I wondered.
So that's Two Brooks who are sponsoring this video.
Yay, go then.
But now we're going to talk about books. So, would you like to start? What have you read on lockdown?
I've read lots and lots and lots on lockdown. But some standouts would be Where the Crawdads Sing, which is brilliant, which I know you want to talk about, but that was absolutely fantastic. I loved it. In a completely different way, My Dark Vanessa, by, I think it's called Kate Elizabeth Russell, I think it might be her first novel. Really, really interesting book that made me think for a long while after I finished it.
So that one's been really popular on BookTube. I've seen people talk about it all the time, but I don't know even what it's about.
Well, it's about a girl who has a relationship, she's at school and she has a relationship with her 45-year-old teacher. And it's about the boundaries between what is a relationship and what is grooming and what it is to be a victim, and what consent is.
It's dark.
It is very dark, very, very dark, but really powerful.
And what's it called? My Dark
Vanessa.
It's also, I've read that one as well, and it's really good because it basically it flashes between the past, the story actually happening, and then her now, and it's her like slowly over the book realising, because at the beginning of the book she's so defensive of him, being like, no, this was a completely consensual relationship, like all these people who are saying it's bad just don't know what it was like, and then slowly over the book she kind of comes to realise like, oh actually no, like that really wasn't okay, I was only 15.
But it's a very slow journey that she realises that this is abuse, and the terror, the impact of her realising that she's been abused, is really, really, really sad.
Did you read 3 Women?
Yes.
Because one of the storylines in that was also about a girl who had a relationship with a teacher and sort of at the time felt that it was...
You know sometimes when you say yes when you mean no.
So you did read it.
I was thinking you meant Girl, Woman.
Girl, yeah, I've read that one. I haven't
that
read
was
it.
really good. Archie Bartley, what have you read on lockdown?
I have reread the first 2 books of the Culture series by Iain M.
Who's your favourite author?
Yeah, this society that exists on a spacefaring across galaxy kind of level, with technology that means that they can create anything that they need. And so it's this kind of utopia, but then it's not a centralized kind of government as we on Earth always know how our societies are built. And so
When
it's
were
like,
they written?
I think the first one was written 1990 or something like that, or late 80s.
Does it feel like some of those books where, you know, you get books like 1984, which people think actually have an impact on the way people view politics and stuff?
I think, I don't know, I don't really enjoy the community that is centered around it, because it seems like my interpretation is so personal, and of course that's not going to be what everyone else's interpretation is. But yeah, it just, throughout the series there's just so much there. I just love the book, so I'm doing a deep read now.
Yeah, you wrote bloody tons of them, didn't you?
Yeah, I think there's 10 in the Culture series, and then he of course has all his other not science fiction books.
Yeah. Did you just say I'm doing a deep read now?
Yeah.
Is that
like a deep dive?
Yeah, but haven't you
deep
seen
read.
him? He's been reading them and writing notes.
Is that a deep read?
Those are your favourite books, and I've never read them, even though he talks about them all the time, because they are science fiction, and I never read science fiction. But I'm going to tell everyone about a romance magical book that I just read, which is also a genre I would never ever read. So now I have no excuse to not read those, because you can be like, well, you read this bloody weird book. So I read yesterday Dance Upon the Air by Nora Roberts.
Wait, it's called Yesterday Dance Upon the Air.
It's called Dance Upon the Air by Nora Roberts.
Oh, and you read it yesterday?
Yeah.
Very confusing.
Don't worry, so if we can edit that out.
Yeah. This is a book that I would not recommend to anybody at this table.
Excellent.
Okay.
But I'm going to tell you about it anyway, because at this gathering, I don't think any of you would like it, but I surprisingly really enjoyed it. So I'm going to tell you about it anyway, because you might be interested. This book is Sleeping with the Enemy meets Gilmore Girls meets Practical Magic. It's a very strange combination of things. So it's Sleeping with the Enemy because our main character Nell, when we first meet her, she has just chopped off her hair, faked her own death, and is running away from her abusive husband and going off to live in a small town and start a new life, i.e. Sleeping with the Enemy. When she gets there, the small town is adorable, and she goes and works in a cafe/bookshop and bakes amazing pies. So that's the Gilmore Girls bit. It feels like Stars Hollow, and it's just kind of this adorable story. So all of that, I was like loving it. Then suddenly they threw in this side plot, which is that she actually is descended from the witches who first founded the island that she's moved to, and suddenly there's this whole like magical thing, which I was wonderful. Yeah. So you know what? I was like, no, but then I was also like, yes. You know?
So let me get that straight. You were like, no.
I was like, no.
And I was like,
And then I was like, yes.
I'm like that most of the time. Can I tell you what? I can't really concentrate on anything anyone's saying.
Right.
It's good. So I'm so excited because we are actually in the book. And we're in a book called Where the Crows Sing.
Have you just been waiting for that one?
Yeah, I've been waiting for a gap, so I can say that.
It's very good, very good. Okay, Sophie, what have you read on lockdown?
I have read. Oh, so I've just finished reading. And this was my moment to shine. Now I've forgotten the name of the book. The Kite Runner. The Kite Runner. I've been reading The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini.
Yeah.
And oh my god, what a horrible book! Like, what a great book, but also, I think I might be the only person left in the world who hadn't read it yet until now, and I've just finished it. I mean, it's so good, and I loved the way that they, like, at the beginning of the book, and they describe Afghanistan as like this literally like paradise of a country, and then the contrast to when he then goes back. Like the descriptions, because I've read his book, I've read When the Mountains Echoed, which is another book that he read, which I loved, and it's another similar one where it's like kind of through someone's whole life. That's a bit more like lots of different people where it weaves it together. Whereas this one was a bit easier to follow because it's just one person, but it's just so sad. And there's one particular scene, I don't know if you'll all remember this because I don't know the last time you read it, but there's one particular scene in the hotel room with the little boy where I read it and I just like fully just put the book down and was like, I had to just walk away from it because it was. Well, I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it.
I don't remember this book at all.
Don't ever go near it. Like, it's brilliant. It's so good.
Absolutely brilliant. But
it is just
has a long-lasting impact on you.
Okay, it's your turn. Look at your stack of
look.
what have you read on lockdown?
So, I have just finished Where the Crows Sing. So, Where the Crawdads Sing.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
It's brilliant.
It's amazing.
4 of us have read it.
Yeah.
And absolutely loved it.
1, 2, 3, 4. Bodkin.
Yeah.
Tell the people, what is this book about?
Well this book is about a young girl who grows up in a family in the swamps, the marshlands
The marsh girl.
in America. I never worked out which bit of America.
I think it's South Carolina.
South Carolina. Is there sea in South Carolina? Because it's on the coast. Anyway, so she lives in a very, very poor community of marsh people. There are little settlements in the marshes where very poor people live. And she's got an alcoholic, abusive father. And the father just goes off drinking for days and days and leaves, she's only 7, leaves her alone in the house. So she learns how to look after herself. You've got the story of this girl growing up. And she's an outcast, people tease her, she's the marsh girl. But there is woven into this a love story. Mm-hmm. So that's all you need to know, there is a love story going on. And, to make it really exciting, a murder mystery. Yeah. Because there is a murder committed. And all of those strands wiggle together. Yeah. Is wiggle the word?
Wiggles is the perfect word.
They wiggle together.
Yeah.
And it's a lot about prejudice too, isn't it?
A lot about prejudice.
Yeah,
and her just being super cool.
Yeah,
It's such a she's really cool. It's such a good combination of being this really descriptive, lots of focus on the setting, like lovely story, lovely writing, but then with such a page-turning plot. So much happens.
Has
this
this
is the
author
book.
written anything else?
Don't forget to buy this
only
book.
non-fiction. This is her first fiction.
And I encourage everyone to Google her because there is, I can't quite remember the details of the story, so look it up, but her family were involved in some real-life murder case, which just adds a lot of interest to this.
That's down on the back.
Well done, everyone. Good, lots of good reading been going on.
I'm busy with lots more.
Yeah. So do leave us a comment saying what you've been reading or if you're interested in any of the things we've been reading, and I will put everything in the description box below for how to buy these 2 Brooks drinks.
Good, by the way, was
Really
this?
good.
Really
I don't know if it was
good.
captured on camera, but I've been necking this all the way through.
Yeah, well, you're going to be drunk as a skunk.
It's absolutely brilliant. Good luck us this afternoon.
Well, cheers, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers.
Bye.